Hi guys, I'm Jennifer Terri. I make Philippine Travel Updates. Kumusta kayo? Do you guys watch my live this afternoon? Well, anyways, let me explain everything with the new IATF resolutions and announcements. Let's get straight into it. Red country. So Latvia is no longer a red country. So travelers from Latvia, you can enter the Philippines starting November 16. While two countries will now replace the red list. Faroe Islands and the Netherlands. Okay, so reminder, if you are a traveler from a red country, vaccinated or not, it doesn't matter, it's the same. If you're from a red country, you cannot enter the Philippines, especially foreigners and Balikbayans, no matter what visa you have. If you have a travel history for the last 14 days or you're coming from these two red countries, you cannot enter the Philippines. For my Filipinos, for dear Filipinos, kung galing po kayo sa Netherlands or itong Faroe Islands, ang paraan para makauwi kayo is yung repatriation lang or bayanihan flight. These two countries being on red is only until November 30. And it starts on November 16. So if you're arriving today, you're still good to go. Tomorrow, you're still okay. November 16 is the effectivity date for these two countries being on red. Moving forward, what comes after red is green. Yeah, and there's been good news about the green countries. A few countries where there are a lot of Filipinos are now included in the green countries. Yeah, and I will just mention the major countries that are included. So for example, China mainland, Hong Kong, India, Indonesia, Japan, Kuwait, Morocco, Oman, Pakistan, ano pa ba? South Africa, Taiwan, UAE, Saudi Arabia, yan, countries with a lot of Filipinos. It's good news that you are now on green list. So what does green list, guys? What does it mean if you are from a green country? So meaning, guys, you're covered by green lanes or green list if you have a travel history. If nagstay ka dyan sa country na iyan ng 14 days before arriving in the Philippines. If let's say, you just stayed in the green country for 1 to 2 days, 3 days, no, it's not considered as green lanes. You need to be there for 14 days. So for those, let's say you have a transit in a green country, no, you're not covered by green lanes if it's only a transit. You need to stay there talagang dapat 14 days. Moving forward, even though that there's been good news about especially some Middle East countries are included, a lot of our kababayans are still worried about the plane tickets. It's still expensive, I know. Although the civil authority expressed that they want to increase it further. So I hope they do. They want to increase it more than 5,000 daw in Manila. So let's wait for more information, but I'm positive that they will do it because it's Christmas. And especially now that, you know guys, majority of arrivals are OFWs. Many OFWs are from Saudi, UAE, Japan, Kuwait, Oman, and that will significantly reduce the number of people who are being quarantined in hotels. Meaning, what's the reason of travel cap, diba? It's the limited hotel facilities. Kung less people ang magka-quarantine sa hotel, then less need for hotels, then increase travel cap, diba? Increase travel cap, that's the next step. IATF, what's not clicking? Cab. Alright, moving forward, reminder guys, for green lanes, if you're fully vaccinated and you can show a negative test result 72 hours before departure, no more quarantine in the hotel. You can go straight to your home. For foreigners from green countries, yes, foreigners are also covered by green lanes. But again, guys, it's only for foreigners who are covered by Balikbayan privilege or with visa, with valid and existing visa. So you need to bring a negative test result 72 hours before, within departure. And then for fully vaccinated Filipinos, pwedeng magpakita ng negative test result 72 hours within departure. If you're not able na makakuha ng negative test result, then po upon arrival, hotel quarantine pero isa-swab kayo agad and then you will be released once na lumabas na yung negative test result. So there is no exact day or schedule, bakalagay lang sa IATF resolution upon arrival. Moving forward, what is the protocol when you arrive home? It's According to the IATF resolution, 14 days self-monitoring for any symptoms. Self-monitoring is not the same as quarantine, right? But of course, guys, you need to follow the rules of your LGU. It's always up to the LGU. Like when I went home, the protocol for the IATF was 4 days quarantine, of which my LGU naman required, but they never monitored me. They never checked on me. Oh, wait, they sent a message sa text, yun lang. And then even when I finished, nobody asked for it. Yeah, so depende po sa LGU, but I know maraming kababayan na umuuwi. They're not being monitored, and some are not doing the home quarantine anymore. So it's all up to the LGU kung ika-monitor ka pa nila, kung babantayan ka nila, or kung magfa-follow ka talaga, yun po yun. It's the reality. Moving forward, well, there are still LGUs na talagang napaka-strict na susunduin ka sa airport. So yeah, you really still have to contact or coordinate with your LGU. Especially may mga requirements pa ding ESPA, so it's not like normal times pa din. Ha? So just be mindful of LGU, kung ano yung rules ng LGU. Ipatanong nyo sa barangay, sa pamilya ninyo bago kayo umuwi if you want. You can also visit ESPA, sometimes nandoon din yung instructions. Okay, now going back, green lanes, if you're unvaccinated, let's say I'm from UAE but you're not vaccinated, you still have to do hotel quarantine then. So if you're unvaccinated or partial vaccinated only, or if your vaccination cannot be verified, or you're vaccinated with no negative test result. This is mostly if you're a foreigner. So 5th day testing until the negative test result is issued. So mga 6 days. And then for families, unfortunately guys, even if you're fully vaccinated coming from a green country, but if you're traveling with unvaccinated minors, hotel quarantine pa din ng 6 days. 5th day testing. I know it sucks. Like other countries consider minors, especially Philippines, di ba nagsimula lang kayong mag-vaccine sa mga bata? Ay, yun nga guys, it sucks for families, traveling with children who are still unvaccinated. Now, I know a lot of people are disappointed with the green list, especially travelers from USA, Canada, because there have been a lot of hints na they want to include North America in green list. Oh, well, it's not on the list, unfortunately. So, US, Canada, Qatar, Italy, Germany, Malaysia, Switzerland, Spain, France, Singapore, Guam, and other countries that were not mentioned are yellow. So, yellow, it's still the same, 6 days if fully vaccinated, 8 days if unvaccinated. On the other hand, the IATF, in the recommendation of the DFA, also approved government certificates of 9 countries. What countries? So if you have a vaccination certificate from these countries, it can be accepted for shorter quarantine or for interzonal movement. Did you guys saw my update? Starting, nakalimutan ko anong araw. Starting, ilagay ko sa screen. In Boracay, we can enter and we can just show our vaccination certificate. Wow! Money na lang kulang, open ang Boracay. So, yeah. So, what are these countries? Vaccination certificates from these countries will be accepted for travel within the Philippines or to enter for shorter quarantine, ganun. So, for example, Australia, Czech Republic, Georgia, India, Japan, the Netherlands, UK, United Kingdom, Turkey, and Samoa. Yan. For Filipinos pala guys arriving in the country, do not worry if your country is not here kasi hindi naman required yung reciprocity. Kung anong vaccination certificate ang in-issue ng government ninyo, foreign government, tatanggapin po yan. For no quarantine or for shorter quarantine. Pwede printed, pwede sa phone. Of course, secure talaga. Kung sa phone guys, baka walang internet baka mahina yung internet sa airport. Mas maganda yung printed, I think. Now, I know a lot of people are disappointed. Jennifer, how is this new green list a good news to us when we are not included? I know it sucks. It's sana all, 'di ba? It affects you guys because again, as I mentioned, most arrivals are OFWs. More than 50% of the arrivals are OFWs. If marami ng OFWs ang hindi mag-quarantine, then less need for hotels, then there should be increase in travel cap soon. And Yeah, it's also good news for binational couples who are wanting to meet in a third country. There you go. UAE is a green country. Upon returning in the Philippines, your Filipina don't have to quarantine. At least that's less burden and less expense for you. There's sad news for travelers from New Zealand, Poland. It's no longer green country, so yeah, 6 days quarantine if you're fully vaccinated. Sadly, and if you think about it, I know, where's justice, Jennifer? India has more than 10,000 daily cases, while Canada has only 2,000. How can they be on green and we are not? I think it's also because incidence rate are the basis on cases for the last 28 days versus population. It's the only justification I can give. The population matters. So if a country with a big population has 2,000 or 10,000 cases, it wouldn't mean that their incidence rate would be high. But if a country like New Zealand only has more than 200 cases daily, but their population also is very small, malaki yung effect on their incidence rate. So that is the only justification I can provide, guys. I know it's disappointing that your countries is still not on the list. You know, our greatest hope is still that all countries, green and yellow, would have the same protocol of no quarantine if you're fully vaccinated with a negative test result. It's not like the whole population of Canada is being admitted to the Philippines, diba guys? It shouldn't be about the population, it should be about individual travelers. But we'll keep on hammering, pukpukin ng IATF till they change the rules of this color coding restriction. I'm still pushing and hoping that they would remove the red country restriction. No Filipino should ever be refused or turned away from returning from her or his own country. Diba guys? It's totally unfair. Never understood the red country rules. Anyways, I will answer some questions. One is from Emelita Lopez. Jen, paano pag walang vaccine? Ilang araw po ang quarantine? UAE po ako. So if you're unvaccinated from a green country, 6 days po. OFWs covered pa din ng OWA or Marina. Again po, even if you're from green country, covered pa din po kayo ng OWA. For your domestic flight or provincial bus, covered pa din po. For yun nga, if unvaccinated from green country, 6 days quarantine po. For Non OFW, secure hotel booking. OFW, hindi kailangan. Next question is from Lynn. No need na ba ang One Health Pass? We still need One Health Pass. Even if from green country or yellow country, you still need One Health Pass. And in fact, sa One Health Pass, pwede nyo, dun nyo isasubmit yung 72 hours negative test result. Diba may part doon na isasubmit ninyo? So, isubmit nyo guys. Sa One Health Pass yung negative test result ninyo. Next question is from Delxi. Hi po, if galing ako Saudi Arabia, Saudi is a green country, starting November 16, hoy, sa mga uuwi tomorrow or bago November 16, baka sabihin nyo, ay covered na kami ng no quarantine. No! November 16 pa yun guys, ha? So, malas naman ang dumating before November 16. Yun nga, wala tayong magawa kasi November 16 yung effectivity ng new list, ng green list. But anyways, going back to her question, hi po, galing po ako Saudi, madami akong connecting flights, Riyadh to Doha, Qatar, ayan, may transit in Qatar. Since galing ako Saudi, PCR test na lang ba or mag-quarantine pa ako kasi Qatar yung international flight ko? Don't worry. According sa IATF resolution, all passengers, whether Filipino or foreigner, merely transiting to a non-green shall not be deemed as having come from or having been to the said country if they stayed in the airport the whole time and were not cleared for entry into such country by its immigration authority. So, as long as wag kang dumaan sa immigration ng Qatar, then okay ka. Kung transit lang, hindi ka nalalabas ng airport, okay lang po. Hindi po, green list pa din po kayo. At transit doesn't have any influence doon sa green lanes. Kung transit lang, okay lang. Hindi ka na need mag-quarantine kung fully vaccinated with negative test result. Next question is from Linda. Paano kung nasa green list na bansa ka tapos umuwi ka ng walang PCR test na may quarantine po ba or wala? Meron po kung wala po kayong negative test result. Dalawa po kasi for Filipinos may option na i-test upon arrival sa hotel. And another option na sinabi ng IATF is yung 5th day testing. Meron nga hindi masyadong clear. Pero I think for foreigners, talagang 5th-day testing if you cannot show a negative test result from a green country. If Filipino, there's another option of test upon arrival. Next up is from Agnes. Hello, Miss Jen. What you mean po that you can go and stay for 14 days in other countries that are included in green list and you can come here in the Philippines? Only Filipino or foreigner? Yes. Also, let's say you're coming from the US and you really don't want to quarantine. You have plenty of time. You have plenty of money. Guys, you can go to UAE or other green countries, stay there for 14 days, enter the Philippines, no quarantine. But there's also risk in that, because these green lists are being updated, being changed every 2 weeks. So it's hard to plan. Just as long as that country stays their COVID low numbers, that's what matters. But there's no assurance on this. Yun nga lang, dapat magstay sa green country yung pupuntahan mo. So yes, you can avail green lanes. You stay in that green country for 14 days before returning to the Philippines. Even if you're a US citizen but you've been in UAE, for example, for 14 days before entering the Philippines, then you can avail green lanes. No quarantine if you're fully vaccinated with a negative test result. Next question is from Keto Custom Diets. How about foreigners for no visa needed only upon arrival? So there is no change on the entry restrictions for foreigners. We're still not open to foreign tourists, and the green countries, green lanes is only for Filipinos, foreigners with visa, and Balikbayans. That's all. There's no change on entry restriction. And again, guys, this green list is only until November 30. Abang-abang na yung country nyo, it will still be on that list. Hopefully, your cases will still be low. Yun lang. There is still hope for countries that are not included in green list. It's not the end of it, diba? A lot of people are still pushing for US and Canada to be included in green list. So there's still hope. Don't lose hope. I'll see you with another travel update. Stay safe and God bless. Bye!